Hey guys, how we doing? Oh, we got a bunch of comments already. All right, let me figure out where we're at and get this so that everything's live. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to my live stream. We've got about an hour tonight. I'm going to try and keep this right to an hour because I've got stuff to do later. Start the irrigation gun up at 10 or 10:30. And I haven't finished editing today's video yet, so there's that I've got to do yet too. So, yeah, you probably don't like that rocking, do you? I've got you magnetically mounted to my chair on my front porch, so when I rock, you guys follow. That's probably good. But, all right, let's get started with some comments. I'm going to start back at the beginning, and hopefully I'll get caught up. My wife may join us. She's dealing with an ornery child who does not want to go to bed, so we'll see when she gets him down and can get down here. She may pop in for a minute. So, looks like Berkey might have got some rain. You know, I haven't checked this afternoon. It's possible. There was a shower that went by. We caught half a tenth out of it. I didn't look down there. No beer tonight, but I do have water because I've got to drive to the irrigation field. So, yeah. Al says, congratulations on the $10,000 and 200 episodes. Al, I wish it was $10,000. It's not. It's not even close to that. 10,000 subscribers, though. So thank you for that. And yes, today's episode, the one that will come out tomorrow morning, is number 200. Believe it or not. Germany is 6 hours ahead, so 9. That puts it 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, thanks for joining. Thank you, guys. Joey, those kids are a handful. You are indeed correct. Scott, how'd today go? This morning was a little slow. I had to fix the hydraulic leak on the sprayer and get the traveler pulled out. The iPad, will you? And so it took me a while, and then we had a brief rain shower pop in, and that slowed things down. But I did get some spraying done this afternoon, so that was good. So, decent day. How close are you to Central Time Zone? We're about 20 miles east of the Indiana border. I think the Central Time Zone starts on the Indiana-Illinois line, or maybe there's a county or two in Indiana that's Central Time Zone. So the width of Indiana, basically. Everybody say hi.
Hi.
She might read me some comments, although this setup works pretty good here. Just pull it up on YouTube there, yeah, and you should be able to see all the comments. Did you think you get to 10,000 subscribers when you started? Honestly, I didn't know where this was going to go. I had no idea when I started this that I was going to make a video every day. That was not in the plan at all. It's just kind of the way that it worked out and happened, and it hasn't really changed. So I've stuck with it, and I kind of had a head start on the subscribers from some of my Big Bud videos from 5 years ago. So with, I don't know, 2,500 or 3,000 or something like that, and it gave me a big enough platform to start and growing that things went a bit quicker than they would have otherwise, I guess. So I don't know. It's amazing. Things kind of exploded here the last month or two, I feel like, and it's growing faster than it had been, which is good. You ever heard of gravity watering a field? Sure, absolutely. I don't know that I've ever seen it. There's none of it around here. I know down in Southern Plains, maybe Texas, Arkansas, they do a lot of flood irrigation, which would be considered gravity. I'm sure there's some in California as well. How does your dad view you making videos? I think my dad more so just he doesn't know why anybody would watch it, and so he just kind of goes with it. He doesn't have a problem with it, sometimes come to me and be like, I have a great idea that you need to film, and sometimes we have, sometimes it doesn't work out, but like he's really proud of his sawmill and stuff, so he likes to show that off a little bit. So I've done a couple of videos where that's out there a little bit. St. Louis, Michigan, I know where that's at. I was up there earlier this spring. Hello, wifey, he says. You figure out where we're at?
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the comments here.
Okay.
I had to turn up the display brightness because the kids had.
Yeah.
Can't see.
I'm surprised they're having a horse show in Oklahoma with all the stuff that's going on.
Oklahoma's not as bad.
Yeah, well, he's
Some
going
of the
from
other
Florida,
states.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was most of Indiana, but not quite all of it was on Central Time Zones. So that makes sense. Eastern North Carolina, welcome. Joey, all you're missing is the white picket fence. Farming wife and kids living the dream. Yeah, something like that.
Farming wife, I don't think I'm quite a farming wife.
That one?
That's okay.
Yeah, my problem now is we have neighbors back at night,
Yes.
which is great, but it's all right. So we'll fix that someday. Less than 90,000 to get to the award. Yeah, I got an email from YouTube saying congratulations on the 10,000 with a little supposed to shoot guide, but
Oh, come on, just do it.
yeah. I've heard at 100,000 you get a little silver plaque or something like that, I think, from YouTube. So that'd be kind of cool, but we got a long ways to go to get there.
Oh, sidewalk job coming at home.
Ah,
Like
pretty
a
good.
thing.
You know what? It's bright enough. We can go show you. Let's go take a look. How long ago was that comment?
9:05 p.m.
Okay, 2 minutes ago. We're good.
2 minutes.
All right. Turn the camera around here. Some of my kids' artwork and their toys that they have left out. Yeah. So here's the new sidewalk. Oop. Pretty nice, if you ask me. I'm happy with it. I think I showed you in one of my videos a before picture, the old lava rocks with stepping stones that was no good. You are supposed to be in bed. Yeah. Uh-huh. He's supposed to be in bed. Can you wave hi?
Hi.
Everybody, look, it's mommy. Here. There's you.
Back in bed, mister?
Yeah.
You were all settled down and you said you were good.
All right, so anyway, sidewalk is good. I did a little landscaping here. We got some mulch and some plants in there. I did plant grass here, but my grass seed was probably 2 years old. I don't think it grew. So I'm gonna need to reseed that. I was hoping for some rain in the forecast. Okay. Hey, you need to go inside, bud.
Puppy.
Yeah, there's a puppy. Oh, I'll go back to my chair here.
Come on, bed.
Rylan,
Let's go,
upstairs.
mister.
At least his brother's still in bed.
He was playing with toys.
Yeah, he's in his room at least.
Come on,
Go, bud.
Rylan.
Okay.
Rylan.
I guess I should have told you that. And Rylan is my son. That one. So how does the water pumping cost work? Do you arrange that with the county, or is that on private land? So it's not an issue. Yeah. So we're pulling out of a river. We don't have to pay for the water. We're allowed to pump basically as much as we want. We just have to report to the state how much we pump out of the river annually, which we do that. So that's no problem. Cost is all just a matter of what it cost us to do it, fuel and equipment, basically. How's it going? Love that area. In-laws live close to you. Yep, nice area here. Gravity watering fields at O'Neill Family Farms. They're pretty good. Oh yeah, I've seen some of their videos. Yeah, I guess I didn't see one where they were gravity. I don't watch them all, but yeah. gonna have any demos. Nothing lined up. I don't have any plans for anything. Yeah, the only thing I've kind of still been kicking around the idea of demoing or trying to find something to use this fall is a strip till machine. I would really like to try some strip till. It's just so expensive for the equipment and to get started with it that I don't know how to make it work, but I am trying to do that. So you can use your new engine in a go-kart for the boys and also get your welding. I probably could. I would probably put the new one on the Traveler and take the old one and try and rig that up to a go-kart or something. But yeah, I bet that would work. And it's got a gear reduction, so that would help slow things down and make it a little bit more torquey, I guess. Do you think your John Deere dealer would let you demo some new equipment? They certainly would. They do that from time to time. It's just a matter of what they have and what we're looking for. I almost had a combine lined up last fall. It fell through. I don't know. We'll see if they contact me with anything for this year. But, you know, I don't ask them a whole lot because we're pretty happy with what we've got. And if we were really seriously looking at something like that Anhydrous bar this spring, then we might ask them. But I don't have any plans for anything. Mexico, welcome. Yeah, everybody hit that like button for me. 8 miles gravity irrigation when I was growing up. Wow, that's a lot. At least I feel like a lot. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Canada, thanks for joining us, guys. Enjoy our video showing how the corn and beans grow. Yeah, you know, something that kind of sets me apart is the detail, I guess, that I go into, and the fact that they're daily gives me the opportunity to go into detail. So. Warren asked why diesel over electric pump, and somebody asked me that in the comments on one of the videos the other day. I don't know if it was you, Warren, or not, but I didn't get a chance to answer it. So basically the reason for it is because we had the generator. We used the generator to power our grain system, which is a whole nother story, but it was cheaper to just use the generator and the engine that we already had and buy an electric motor than it was to buy a diesel pump or an engine with a pump, or what we really wanted to stay away from was a PTO pump that used one of our tractors to run it because of the number of hours that were running. We didn't want to rack them up on a tractor. Yeah. If you were to replace a tractor, which one and what will replace it? So I guess that depends on a few different things. Probably of the ones that we use for field work. So there's the three main tractors. We've got our 9510R, our 8335R, and our 8430 that are the ones that we use for 95% of the field work. And so if we were upgrading one of those, what I would really like to is trade in 8430 and buy something like a 8345 RT on tracks, or RX, but that's not going to happen. So that'd be the most likely scenario. However, I don't see it happening in the near future, let's say. Does your wife have on some Michigan State shorts? Probably not, Al. You're not going to like this. They might be Notre Dame shorts. She's a Notre Dame fan. I know. It's just, hey, I can't help it. It's better than a Michigan fan. Congrats on 200. Also heard you talking about spraying with a plane. Is that something you do every year and sounds expensive? Yeah. So I did talk about that, and it's probably going to happen early next week. We're going to get some fungicide sprayed on some corn with an airplane. I haven't. We do usually do a little bit every year. I didn't do any last year, and I'm kind of trying to move towards using a sprayer, a ground rig with a high clearance sprayer that can do it. Ours can't, so we got to hire that out. But I've got a neighbor that will do it for about $10 an acre, I think, versus a plane, which they told me the plane was only going to be $12 an acre, which seems like a deal. The problem is you got to buy the chemical from them as well, and they are charging like $5-6 an acre more than we bought the for back in the winter. And so if I can just use the product that we've already got bought, the fungicide, then it's a lot cheaper for us to do it on the ground rig than it is to fly it on. The reason I'm going to fly on some this year is because I'm going to do that irrigated field, and we've got irrigation pipe laying across the rows, so I can't spray it with a ground rig. He would have to drive over the pipe, and that's no. We can't do that. What's your favorite Golden Harvest corn number and bean number? Good question. beans is a little easier to answer. The 3195s have been by far our best. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're a really good bean. They've been our best bean. Last year they were not our best, but there was a 2-2 bean that we planted early that turned out to be our best. But the 3195s have been super impressive for a while. And on the corn side, man, our corn lineup changes so fast. It's hard to know. Um, a couple that I really like, but it's hard for me to pick one of them out. I've had really good luck with the 06Q68. That one's on its way out. Um, I hear this 10L16 is going to be really good and the 10D21, but this is the first year I've even planted either one of those. So it's hard for me to say that right now. 09Y24 is a really good hybrid. I really like the 08M20. See what I mean? I just can't pick one. But there are some that I won't plant, but those are the ones that I'm kind of working with right now. Do your dad and uncle help with your field watering? Is that all you? Phil helped me lay the pipe out. Dad's given me a ride a couple of times. Moving everything else has all been on me. I pretty much do it on my own. Okay. Any rain there recently? Not really. We had a 1/2 this afternoon. Maybe a 1/2 on Sunday. The last one was Wednesday, I think. It was yeah, we had 3/4 of an inch. Maybe it was Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, a week ago. Yeah, little guy got busted. Battery charger trick. It did work. It worked spectacularly well. I'm thrilled by it. I went up there tonight. It's actually shut off right now. It was more of a timing issue with the runs. But yeah, when so I just put a little trickle charger on it, if you saw that in this morning's video, and it said it was fully charged when I looked at it tonight, so that's good. And I think my alternator got delivered, but I had it delivered here to my house in town. For some reason, they could get it to me 2 days faster here than they could ship it to our farm 5 miles away. I don't understand. It's a different state, I guess. So I got to go to the post office tomorrow and get it, and I hate having a post office box, but it's what it is. So Spartans for sure, no question about that one. Nope, no rain today, Steven. Did you get the 2510H Anhydrous bar in Napoleon? I believe you drove by my farm. I did. I picked it up there and brought it back to use it. It was at their Napoleon location, and they had somebody else up this way that was using it anyway. So, yep. I kind of went down south of Wasion, wiggled my way around there. So I very well could have driven by your farm. Yeah, Joey. Did you get the generator fixed? So I haven't actually fixed it yet. Like I was just saying, I guess I already answered that. The alternator, I think, is at the post office. We just haven't brought it in. Boy, I'm getting way behind here, aren't I? What time is it? Yeah, 5 minutes. All right. Orthman 1 tripper, 12-row strip bar. Excellent piece of equipment. I've heard things about those Orthman ones. They're heavy. I know that. 12-row, you can do 300 to 500 acres. That's pretty good. Wait. Oh, we only strip till 300 to 500. I thought I read that wrong. I read that as 300 to 500 a day. That'd be a huge day. Go Notre Dame, they said. Ugh.
Yes.
Go Bucks. Go. Yeah, they are definitely Notre Dame shorts. You can leave now, Joey. What about the 4440? My brother loves that tractor. As far as upgrades, is that what we're going back to there? I kind of would like to trade in that 4440 and maybe the 7520 on a nice, newer utility tractor like that. Problem is, when we don't use them for field work, it's really hard to justify spending any money. And it's kind of nice to have 2 tractors there right now, like when I'm using one for irrigation and we're using one to mow or whatever else needs to be done. So chances of that happening are pretty slim, and that 4440 is this close to being sentimental that we're going to have to keep it because my grandpa bought it brand new back in 1978. So it's not my favorite tractor, but it's not worth much either, so we might as well keep it, right? Invest in XRP. My sweet corn versus my dad's. Well, most of what I planted is still behind. It looks okay. It's even. I should go look at that, see if we have anything ready or not. That's right, Al. That's right. How many land do you have crops on? So we farm a little over 3,000 acres total. Show how I dehusk the sweet corn in a video. I do it just like everybody else. Peel them off one husk at a time. Are your grain bins ready for the next crop? Almost. We aren't doing any major grain system upgrades right now, so nothing that's really working on or waiting for. We do have one bin that we put wheat, actually two bins that we put wheat in that we're going to clear them out before fall harvest. Phil's been working on that, hauling some wheat here the last few days. So we got to get those cleaned out, and then pretty much everything's ready for harvest. We might have to do a little cleanup and stuff, but nothing too major. Oh, did I catch up? Sweet. I did. Yeah, I can't get rid of that tractor. Yeah, I know. I know. All right, you're going to have to ask me some more questions because I'm not doing anything to have anything to show you. Grain bin tour for the 200th. Well, I filmed the 200th today. Grain bin tour didn't happen. I was too busy. The thing is, I got stuff going on all the time, so I don't have time to do that kind of thing. I will try and do a grain bin tour at some point, and really we have the two farms with Berkey and Waldron, and I should do both. If I don't get to it, I certainly will do it during harvest. But yeah, something I should do.
Didn't you already kind of do a grain
I
bin?
I did do a grain bin tour, but it was way back last fall when like 30 people watched my videos. So you can go all the way back there and see it if you want. How did I meet my wife? Let's call it mutual friends. A friend of mine works with her cousin's wife.
Yeah.
And yeah, they kind of set us up.
Blind date.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of a blind date.
Shout out to Kim and Amy, by the way.
Yeah, who are definitely not watching this.
True
but,
story.
Oops.
Should show them the pretty sunset. The sky looks nice tonight.
Sunset. You can see my pretty flowers. Phone cameras, man.
Doesn't look good.
It does not. Pretty nice one. Now you can see all my neighbors' houses. Can you hear the car going down the road right now? Stereo? Yeah. Okay. Oops. Do you have a timeline to build by your warehouse? We're working on that. I'm not ready to talk about it much just yet, but that is the plan: is to build a house out there by my seed warehouse. Is Phil part owner in the farm? Absolutely. Phil is equal partner with my dad. I'm pretty sure. Yep, they're equal partners. I have another uncle that's a part owner, and then I have my share too. So our farm is set up a little bit different than a lot of people's are, and even a lot of the other YouTubers and stuff. I know that a lot of people have their own equipment. Some of them farm their own acres, or they kind of keep stuff separate, and we're not set up that way, and I appreciate that. It gives me a lot better opportunity, I feel like, and it works out really well. So we're actually a corporation. We are incorporated, and basically we each all own stock, and it's all kind of based on percentages of how much we own and stuff, but it makes it a lot easier to transition and buy out people as they want to sell, to transition that ownership to the next generation. So a little bit different. I don't own any of the equipment myself. My dad doesn't own any of the equipment himself. Phil doesn't own any of it himself. We all own our parts of Boulder View Farms Incorporated, and the corporation owns the equipment. So
Tracy Roberts is asking, have you ever sprayed diesel on equipment? Keep it from rust and looks good.
Not diesel, no. So I tried earlier this spring when I was cleaning up the corn planter some fluid film, and I bought 2 gallons of the stuff thinking I would need it, and it's going to go a long ways. I'm going to have that in 2 gallons for a long time. But I was going to spray it on with like a hand garden sprayer, and that did not work. Apparently I need something with quite a bit more pressure. But usually what I do with all the blades on the equipment, the planters, the anhydrous bar, and that stuff, is just buy some real cheap black spray paint, and I'll paint them that way. But I was trying to find something that would be faster and easier this year. So I tried that. I don't know. I have not got the uh, bean planter cleaned up yet. It's still sitting in the barn, dirty. Needs done. Just have not had time. I was kind of hoping Phil would do it, but that's not going to happen either. So I'll get to it one of these days. But yeah, I've heard guys using diesel fuel. I don't know. I haven't done that one.
Ed Harrison and Darlene Lewis say congratulations.
Thank you.
It's hot and dry in Georgia.
Nope.
Couple
We're
highs.
we're not quite as hot as we have been. We're still pretty dry. We've caught a couple of rains over the last 2 weeks that have certainly helped. But like today, I think it got up to maybe 81 or 82 is all. And so while that's still
It's
pretty
very
warm,
humid.
it is humid and it's not. It was cloudy. It was overcast all day, threatening to rain, so that helped too. But things are not drying out and stressed as much as when it was 95 and sunny and just brutally hot there for a week or two here 2 weeks ago. So the corn's not, we're not stressed and rolling like we were then, which is good. These cooler days and especially the nighttime temperatures. So we're getting down to the low to mid 60s at night for the most part. And while we're pollinating and the corn's tasseling, that is perfect. It's not so much the daytime heat that hurts us; it's the fact that when it doesn't get below 70 degrees at night, that's when it stresses the corn because when it cools down, the corn gets to breathe and relax and kind of unroll and grow a little bit. But when it's really hot, it doesn't get that opportunity and it doesn't respirate and expel the oxygen, take in more carbon dioxide like it does when it gets cool. So that's why this cool weather, at least, is certainly helping, even with it being dry. It would still be nice to get a good inch of rain or two, but at least it's not 95 and sunny and 75 at night. So,
Elam
yep.
is asking, does your farm use a generator to run the grain bins? How many kilowatts is the one at your main farm?
Yes. So actually, both of our grain systems use a generator. We started that back in 2010, I believe, using the generator, which is when we bought the one that I'm using for irrigating right now. Um, Basically, we're on the end of the power line because the state line cuts our farm in half. We can't get enough power from the electric company. 400 amp single phase is all we have and all we can get. We asked them about running three phase wires down to us, and they wanted $100,000 a mile. It's 2.5 miles away. We could buy a generator and a lot of diesel fuel for $250,000. So we decided to go that route. It also allows us to run 480 volt three phase instead of 230. So everything runs better, smaller wire, and all that good stuff. So we ran that 190 kW Coleman generator that we're irrigating with. We used that for 7 or 8 years on our grain setup. It was starting to get a lot of hours, 10, 12,000 hours on it. And so we thought, well, we better have something a little more reliable. Well, in the meantime, we did some upgrades at our grain system down to Berkey, and we liked it so much at Waldron, and we're kind of in the same situation down there where we just don't have enough power or can't get very much power that we decided to buy a generator for down there as well. So we have a 100 kW cat generator down there. That one works really good for that, and I have used it on the irrigation some before, but that 75 horse motor is a load for that 100 kW generator. So then last spring, we found an ad in one of the farm papers for a company up in Jackson, Michigan, selling generators, and they had a 230 kilowatt generator that was a backup generator at a banking center or something like that. It's a 2003 model, I believe, but it only had like 300 hours on it. Like it had almost never been run other than the once a week or once a month when it started up to run for 20 minutes to make sure everything was working right. So we bought that and put it in. It's a stationary. It doesn't move. It's not on wheels or a trailer or anything, but it's a little bit bigger, gives us a little bit more power, and yeah, works really good. We like that.
Rockstar Rancher would like to know what job you enjoy doing most on the farm.
Ooh, what job? What single job? It changes though. That's the thing is I can't really pinpoint one thing that I like the best because whoa, way too bright. Sorry. You know, when the first day of corn planting is by far my favorite job that time of year. By the 10th day of corn planting or the 8th day of replant, I'm sick of it and I don't want to do it anymore. Same thing with harvest. The first day or week, it's awesome. By the end of the second month, you're ready to be done. So, but I would say in general, it's operating the equipment is my favorite part. That's what I really like doing. I don't mind the mechanic stuff and run on equipment in the winter, but I I, I don't want to do it all year.
Wayne Perry wants to know any grain bin upgrades you would like to do.
Not anything real major. I've got a little electrical project we're going to work on sometime in August here, I hope, but that's pretty minor. We've made a lot of grain system upgrades over the last 10 years. We've put up two big grain bins at Waldron there, including that huge 120,000 bushel one. We put in a new dryer. We put in a new dry leg. We've done a lot of upgrades there over the last few years, and so there's not a whole lot of stuff that needs to be done right now. We've kind of done what we needed to do, and we're in good shape for a while.
King thinks we need a porch swing.
Yeah, this porch isn't big enough.
Yeah,
It's only like
really.
5 foot wide, so it barely fits the two chairs we're sitting in.
Someone's asking about my occupation.
Yep. So my wife is a well, she works for the local Ford dealer. What's your job title, honey?
I'm office manager, but
Office manager.
controlling
I always kind of say she's the
accountant.
in-house accountant.
Yeah.
She's not really an accountant, but she does all their accounting stuff aside from
I like
tax
it.
prep, I guess.
I have my MBA. I do
Yep,
tax
she does.
stuff too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So,
Tony would like some hats. He's asked multiple
hats.
times. We have Golden Harvest hats.
I don't have any merchandise. Do you guys want merchandise? Like, I don't feel like there's enough demand for that for me to go and make a bunch of Border Farm shirts and stuff up yet. I do have Golden
Come on,
Harvest
your
stuff.
fans are worth it.
I'm not saying they're not, especially if you're going to buy them from me and I can make some money off you, right?
Oh my gosh, no.
But yeah, I have some Golden Harvest hats. If you guys want to do a Golden Harvest hat giveaway or something, that's fine, but it has nothing to do with Borderview Farms. I don't know why you would want that.
Wayne Perry is a home builder in Ontario, so he thinks we should give him a call. It's a little too far away,
Yeah,
though.
I don't know if you're going to want the commute across the border every day.
Oh, good business plan. I know there's a farm, 12,000 acres, that has a similar setup. Let's see. Trump passed legislation so you don't lose your farm anymore. Taxes from generation to generation. I don't know much about
What?
that.
Trump passed legislation, so you don't. Oh yeah, estate tax stuff. Yeah, they kind of up some of the inheritance limits and all of that kind of stuff, and I'd have to look into it. But that's a big deal, because farmers in general don't have a lot of cash reserves or operating capital necessarily. All of their equity is tied up into either land or equipment or whatever, and so the part of the equity and the problem is a lot of these farms were bought 30, 40, 50 years ago or more in some cases, and the value of them has increased so much that the tax burden on those can be quite significant to sell them from one generation to the next. And so there's some tax rules with step up in basis and things that help, but when not to get too far into the details and stuff here, but I had another uncle that was farming with us, and he passed away here about 10 years ago. Holy cow. 10 and a half years ago, almost 11 years ago now. And he was kind of a fourth of our farming stuff, and he owned a fourth of the operation and a fourth of some of the land, or a third of some of the land, or however it was. And when we had to buy his wife out, which we did, I mean, it was their share. The problem was that his share of those farms was now worth as much as we had paid for the whole thing to start with, and so it was like buying those farms all over again, and that was quite a burden on my dad and my uncle, or my other uncles, and the operation as a whole. And I'm not saying it wasn't right or it wasn't fair. It was a hard thing for us to swallow and do all of that. So yeah.
Some people say that's a good way to set up your farm. Others think
going
it
back
might
to
be a little weird.
the corporation stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talking about cost share instead. Favorite grain bin company, GS. We all use GSI. Tower dryers also.
Yeah, so we have quite a mixed bag of grain bins. Let's see, we've got 2, 3, 4 GSI bins, 2 at each location. We've got a couple of Butler bins. We've got a Brock bin. And then most of our new ones are Souk Up. We've kind of gone that route on the last, I guess, just two. The two newest ones, and the big one is a Souk Up. And I would say the reason for that, well, one of them we bought a used bin. That was a Brock. Another one the company, the local builder that we buy most of our grain bin stuff from, that does a really good job for us. They switched brands, I think, 15, 20 years ago from Butler to Souk Up, and so that's why the switch there. And the GSIs were because they were top dries. They're one of the only companies that makes that style of bin, and that's kind of what we were used to from an older bin that we took down a couple years ago. And so back in 2006, when we were looking to upgrade some stuff, we bought a couple of GSI bins because we were wanting to stick with that style in bin dryer, the top dries, which I've talked about in the past in some of my harvest videos, and I'll show you again sometime. So,
If you were able, what collectible item would you like to own? Anything?
collectibles. I'm not a big collector guy. My wife gets mad at me because I won't let my kids play with my tractors.
Oh gosh. They're yelling and screaming, asking for them.
They're not toys. Right?
Okay.
Tell her I'm right.
No.
So I would probably do that, but even that doesn't, it's just not my thing. I don't know.
Like your 4020. Wouldn't you consider that a collectible?
Oh, like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so our 4020, I don't know if I would consider it collectible, but I mean, it was my grandpa's tractor he bought in 1965, brand new. We've had it ever since. I restored it quite a few years ago. It'll never leave our farm. Not ever. I also have another tractor that I want to get out and restore. That is another thing that I'm hoping to get out. An old Farmall F12 that I'll tell you about sometime. But so I guess you could consider that kind of stuff collectible.
What would I want?
Somebody ask you?
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are asking her questions now?
Yeah.
Okay, answer.
Some jewelry?
Oh, that's not collectible.
Sure it is. Pass it down.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
She says that, but yeah, anytime that she has anything of her mom's, well, this is old cut. It's no good anymore.
Whatever. That's not true.
That's not true, Melinda. I don't know if you're watching or not, but that's not true.
Why do you put up signs by your fields?
Okay, so I haven't talked about this a lot lately, but I am actually a dealer for Golden Harvest. They call me a seed advisor, and so I sell seed for them. And those signs that I put up the other day were all part of my test plots. And normally, under normal circumstances, I would have people come over for a field day or whenever to walk through those plots and look at them. So it's kind of to show off our varieties and what we have and the genetics and get a feel for them and what they're going to do in our fields and our local environment before we plant whole fields of them. So that's why I put those signs up there. I should be out putting up signs on all of our other regular fields just for the advertising effect and saying that, hey, we plant Golden Harvest, you should too, kind of thing. But I haven't done any of that yet, so that's why.
One job around the house you still have not done.
Around our house?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Touch up paint. That's more me because you haven't really painted. Yeah, well, you should. Why should I have to do it all? Just time to get it ready to sell. How about that?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Clean it out.
Let's see, jobs around the house that I haven't done. I've got another little landscaping project around my flagpole over there that looks terrible. Geez. That needs fixed.
Yeah, I'm putting all these stones out around our landscaping.
Yeah, I've got some landscape stones that from a project that got tore out that I need to use up.
Otherwise, we don't
not
really
a whole lot interior.
Much.
We've upgraded some stuff the last few years. I did some tile floors in our kitchen and the master bathroom, and we put a backsplash in the kitchen this winter. So most of the rest of it is
sellable.
Gonna be somebody else's problem. Let's put it that way.
There's not really any problems though.
No, there's just not. I mean, the carpet could be upgraded. It's original. But...
Yeah. Did your farm ever have any livestock?
We did. So back in the 80s and early 90s when my dad started the farm, he had some pigs. Would raise them from feeder pigs 30-40 pounds to market weight. but I don't know that we ever had more than 200, 250, and it got to the point where pigs were super cheap and it wasn't making any money. And then if you weren't doing a few thousand at least, you weren't making any money. And so we got out of those, I think in 92, maybe 93, somewhere in there. My sister had a horse, some 4-H animals every now and then, but nothing other than that.
Angel would like you to send a greeting to his, I'm assuming, Cypriano brother, who does not miss your videos. Tell him hi.
Hi. Welcome. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.
The corn looks good in Lake Odessa, says Ben. Not nearly as stressed, but they've had a bit more rain.
Yeah, there's been some rains that's gone through to the north of us. So
got
good for you guys.
Several people who would like your merch.
All right.
We may have to work on that.
We may have to look into it.
How do you and your partners manage weekly meetings, designated responsibilities? What do you want to do, or do your wives tell you what to do every day? I wish I could tell you what to do every day.
No, our wives, none of our wives are really actively involved in the farming operations at all. So they just, I don't know, my mom never has been. My wife doesn't have any interest because she's a city girl. We've been over this.
Oh my gosh, don't even go there.
So as far as that goes, I mean, we try and talk. Depends on what's going on, but we do all have our responsibilities and our jobs that we do. And so we all tend to do our own thing as much as we need to. But definitely we'll talk and make a plan, especially when we're in the fields and trying to figure out, okay, where are we going to go next, and which field do you think is ready, and that kind of stuff. But you know, winter maintenance, when I'm doing that, it's my schedule, when how I want to do it. I'll kind of tell them where I'm at and what's going on with stuff, but it's not like we have a meeting and say, okay, this has got to get done today, this has got to get done today. It's okay, what are you going to do today? Oh, what are you going to do? Okay, sounds good. So
Hal thinks I need some Michigan State shorts. I have several Michigan State shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirt, sweatshirt. Let's see. Hi from Jackson.
Jackson, yep.
Been there several times.
Been there. It's an hour away.
Lots of people are saying as your subscriber number goes up, that's the number of times it will go up as well about getting some merch. So might be a good idea. Any family members that will be partners with you once your dad and Phil are done?
Probably not. So my uncle Phil, who's the other one that farms with us full time, he doesn't have any kids. And then the other uncle that I have that's a part of the farm is Ron, and he does have two boys. They both have full-time careers, are out of college, and I don't think they won't really want to farm at all. So I don't know. I think that's part of the reason that I'm not super anxious or trying to expand our farm a whole lot, is because we're getting close to when Dad's going to at least be slowing down a little bit. Phil's got a few years in him yet, quite a few. So it's not like I'm going to be on my own and losing all my help, but there's going to be a little bit of a gap there for my generation until if my boys want to farm, or I'm going to have to hire some outside help or something like that. So yeah, I would say no until it's my boys, but we're a solid 20 years from that probably.
Have you ever considered teaching if farming didn't work out?
I've gotten this comment on some of my videos where I talked about the corn and the beans a little bit and stuff, and not really. I maybe very, very briefly considered it in my FFA days back in high school, but it's just not my thing. I know I'm pretty good at some of those things, but I hope you guys can see where my passions are and what I really enjoy and know and like talking about. Give me a subject that's not that, and I'm no good. So, not my cup of tea, but I don't know.
See, still thinks Phil has his own channel and is just jealous.
He could be. It's possible. I don't know. He's private. Doesn't like sharing stuff, and I'm not gonna push it. He doesn't need to be on YouTube if he doesn't want to be. I heard in one of Brian's videos one time, I remember him talking about one of the guys that comes over to do work. I don't know if it was their mechanic from their equipment dealer or somebody, but he said the guy told him, and I quote, "I have no desire to become YouTube famous," and so he's never been on camera, which is fine. And Phil's never said that to me, but I kind of get that impression. So we're going to leave it that way.
You have an Australian fan here who's in a major flood irrigation system where they struggle with droughts.
Yep.
Saying we don't really have a water problem with irrigation.
No, we definitely have plenty of water available to us. We're kind of in how I wouldn't call it unique area, but we're not in an area that requires irrigation. Most of our acres are dry land. We irrigate very small percentage of it, and we can still raise good crops and do just fine. We just kind of had this interest and desire to try some irrigation back 7-8 years ago. And so we bought a system to be able to let us do that, and we're trying to figure out whether it's worth it and whether it pays dividends and if we could afford to put some pivots up or something else. And we've done pretty well in the past. I'd say we've been able to get 20, 30, even maybe even a 50 bushel increase in our corn yields. One year I think I got 20 bushel on beans even, which was really good. But this year it may be quite a bit more than that. I don't know. We'll see. That irrigated field looks fantastic. And compared to some of this other stuff, I don't know. Now, if we can keep getting some rain, the rest of our corn will be just fine. And the difference may not be so much. But never know. So as far as that goes, there's not a bunch of irrigation around here. There's not a bunch of people pumping wells dry or anything like that, like they do some in Nebraska. Or we're not limited as to how much we can put on. There's no restrictions to it. So yeah, pretty much we can do what we need to do on the irrigation side of it.
Well, they're all saying they can't play with your old collectible tractors. However, they're not really that old.
I mean, 15, 20 years old.
Oh, geez. Are you ever going to sell them? No.
No. Why would I sell them?
Well, aren't they just supposed to be worth something?
How many Beanie Babies do you have in the closet?
Okay, well, I'm not really collecting them. I did as a child, but
exactly.
I don't really care now. They're not worth anything. What am I going to do with them? I let the kids play with them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider upgrading your planter to a high-speed planter?
I absolutely would. I think you missed some questions there. But...
Are you clearly all... Oh. Talk about the high-speed planter more?
Yeah, I'll talk about that one and then we'll go back. So high-speed planter, I absolutely would consider upgrading our planter to high-speed. The problem is I planted almost all of our corn in 8 days this year. Now, doesn't include the replants, but how can I justify spending $250,000 on a planter when the one that I have, I can do everything in 8 days and only use it 8 days a year? Yeah, so planter's not high on the trade list right now. Let's just say that.
Clearly like John Deere. Is that because of the Deere products or because you get good service from a dealer?
Probably a little bit of both. I will say that anytime I've had to work with the case dealer around here trying to get parts and stuff, it's a terrible experience. I don't know if it's because they don't know me or I'm not a big customer of theirs that they just don't put any effort into trying with me or what. I had to go to a AGCO dealer last year to get some stuff, and I stood there in their parts on their floor right in front of their counter for 5 minutes before they acknowledged my presence. There was 3 people behind the counter. What? Is it because I'm young and you think I don't have any money? You don't. Well, I don't understand. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted. They had it. All they had to do was sell it to me, and then I knew more about the product than they did. That drives me crazy. You want to sell me something? Know more about it than I do. Sorry. Anyway. But yes, and so, sorry, why John Deere? So that's a big part of it is the service from the dealerships. The salesman that we work with at Greenmark was a friend of mine in high school. We've known each other for a long time. And then the other thing was back in the late 80s, maybe even into the early 90s, we had an old Case 4-wheel drive. I couldn't even tell you the number on it. 2940, 2740, maybe something like that. Does that sound like a Case number? And we went through 2 engines in it, or maybe there was 2 separate tractors. We put an engine in both, something like that. Ever since then, we've been all John Deere. I think that kind of cured my dad of wanting to buy anything that was red.
The closest co-op you work with, closest co-op to you.
I'm running out of water.
Talking too much. We're getting behind in the comments.
Sorry. Okay, closest co-op. Eden Farmers Co-op would be the closest one. We deal with them a little bit, mostly selling grain, not buying stuff from them. We buy from retailers that are not co-ops.
Where are we moving? Are we gonna build a house by the farm?
So down the road from the farm by my seed warehouse is the plan. It's about a 1/10 of a mile away, but it's a whole state.
Barry thinks that we need to water this plant.
We do not need to water this plant. And you want to know what? I've been waiting for somebody to ask why. Check this out, guys.
Oh my goodness, you want me to go get you some water?
Look. You see this line right there? It's an irrigation line. Not just for corn, guys. For house plants too. I also water my hanging baskets up there, which don't look great. So that plant gets plenty of water, and I have not watered it since I planted it. It's hooked up to timed irrigation. Gets watered twice a day, every day.
How many more acres left to spray?
Fungicide, good question. A lot. In fact, that's one of my things I need to do when I get a chance is kind of figure out where we're at with that and how much chemical I've got. I don't know if I've got enough to spray quite all of the beans and some of the corn, which I'm going to do some of the corn. So I got to figure that out, but we've sprayed roughly 1/3 of the beans so far. So we've got at least 600 more acres to do, maybe somewhere between 600 and 800, I would say.
You have inspired someone to grow a small plot of sweet corn seed plot, so
Good
that's
job.
cool. Hi from South Carolina. Break-even price you need to get on your corn crop, Dan is asking.
Depends on the yield. It's highly variable. I don't know that I have a exact number for you in my head, but
Phil is your uncle, not
yes,
brother.
Phil's
No
my
brothers.
uncle. Nope. I have 3 sisters, no brothers.
Soon gaining a brother-in-law.
Oh, on your side, yeah.
Yeah.
Not my sister. Her sister is getting married this fall.
What is your total capacity of all grain bins?
I'd have to add them up. I can list them off. You guys add them up. 120,000, 45,000, 4,000, 12,000, 20,000, 10,000, 5 and 5. No, 7 and 7. Plus 3. Whatever that adds up to is what our bins at Waldron hold.
Getting some recommendations on some merchandise.
Okay. Hey guys, we got about 7 or 8 minutes left before we're going to end this because I got to get going here and go start the traveler up.
Never had a sucker shoot until this year. Only 3rd year at this corn, but it was perfect. Didn't know what to do with them.
There you go.
Google had mixed answers, but you answered it today in the video.
Not today, a couple days ago.
Oh.
So, yeah.
If I win a tractor, auction it off for farmers helping vets. That's cool. Have you ever thought of doing a collaboration with other YouTube farmers?
I've thought about it. I don't really know any of them. Honestly, I'm just the little small fish in the sea and nothing to them. So maybe someday when the farm shows are back up, I'll get to meet some of those other guys and maybe we could do some kind of collaboration or something. But I'm probably going to need a few more subscribers between now and then. I did have one person reach out to me back in the winter wanting to come and ride along while I was harvesting crops, but it was January. We'd been done for quite a while. So.
Do you move your irrigation around every year?
Yes. And that's part of the reason that we didn't buy a pivot was because this is mobile. So we can go to different fields every year and cover more acres or whatever. But we're not stuck to the same field. So some years, well, basically we're in corn every year. So we're always doing a cornfield. Yeah.
Got some people hope the farm keeps going. They enjoy your knowledge and practices. A lot of catching up since the 1950s. How does pay work around there? Do you get paid when you take the crops? Maybe I should be in, then you split it amongst you.
No. So we're employees of the corporation. We're the owners, but we're also employees. So we get W-2 wages, monthly paycheck, just like any other worker would. And if the farm has a particularly good year, we'll either pull a dividends check or a bonus or something. But no, we pretty much get our normal wages every month, and the farm corporation takes however that is. Either if it's a loss because it's a bad year, we absorb it in the corporation, or if we have a good year, maybe we invest in some land or equipment upgrades or whatever it is. So.
Derek, who's growing his seed plot because of your inspiration, said he's had some rain, but Hard thunderstorms that do damage. No normal rain. It just dumps and then it's hot.
The bigger the crops are, the more better they can handle that, but it's still not. You don't want a pounding rain, but when we're like this and as dry as we are, we'll take it however we can get it.
Upgrade your John Deere with precision planting.
Yeah, that is an option, and there's also retrofit kits from John Deere. I have mixed feelings on precision planting. They do have some good products, but there's other things that I don't care for, and I don't know. Again, why do I need to make it a high-speed planter? I can do everything in 8 days. So.
Did you do Cole's planter?
Did I
Oh,
do
that
it?
was somebody else asking.
Okay.
The guy asked about precision. Hello from rainy South Florida. Must be nice. South Carolina. Let's see. Why don't you have a Ford if your wife works at a Ford dealer?
Gosh.
Great question.
Well, one, I had my Chevy truck before we even met each other.
That's true.
She did not work at the Ford dealer when we met each other.
It's true.
And gosh, I'm just not a Ford guy. I don't know if I can do it. That's the worst part about working at a Ford dealership is like,
oh, come on. It's not that bad. You just need to try and drive. I just drove F-150 a couple times, and it's been nice. Honestly, you drive my Explorer's not bad. Yeah. Oh, I love my Explorer.
It's not an Acadia.
Oh my gosh, who cares?
Seriously. Honestly, when I am ready to upgrade trucks, I would really, really like to look at the Dodge or the Rams because I think those are really nice trucks. The reviews on the new Rams have been outstanding compared to Ford and Chevy. So,
great job on videos. Congrats.
Thanks, everybody.
I like how you explain everything. Keep up the great work. What's your end of the year subscriber goal?
Good question. End of the year. So we got not quite 6 months. I have gone from about 3,000 last January, or right around the first of the year, to 10,000 now. You think we could get to 20 by the end of the year? I don't know. I feel like 25 is kind of the next big target.
Oh, get excited about 15.
Yeah, I mean, 15 and 20 are big, but eventually you stop celebrating 5,000 increments and start celebrating 25,000 increments and then 100,000, right?
Oh. I still just think it's just mind-blowing. I don't know if it ever won't be.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I think.
And sometimes I get a little bit discouraged thinking, man, it's just things aren't growing like they would, or, I'll spend a month or two where I get about the same number of views on a video. I was kind of always judging it by how many views I got in the first 24 hours. Because when I'm putting out a video every day, once that first 24 hours has passed, then it's on to the next one. So I kind of watched that. And for the longest time back in the fall, it was 30, 50. And then we got up to a couple hundred. And then sometime over the winter, I started getting towards maybe 1,000. And then this spring when we were planting, it was, hey, that one got 2,000 in the first 24 hours. That was awesome. And now they're 5, 6, 7, 10,000 in the first day or two. And what I'm noticing is you guys are going back and watching the older ones a lot more. So even on Sunday and Monday when I didn't post videos, I was still getting way more views in a day on the whole channel than what I used to when I was posting videos daily. And so I think that's awesome. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys are enjoying them. And I'm gonna keep making them because I still like making them, and it's a lot of fun for me. We haven't made it a whole year yet. I don't know if y'all are gonna stop watching once I get to a year and you've seen everything, because then we start repeating. But
every year's different.
Yeah, there's so much variation and everything is different. So
it's hard to know what people will like too. Like all of a sudden it just
that baling video just took off. Like you guys loved that. I do.
Your last baling video had just as many views though.
Yeah, but that's been over 6 years. This has been a week.
Was it that long ago you made that?
Or 5 anyway. So I do have intentions. Ben, my buddy that does all the baling and stuff, he really wants me to make just a video of just the baling, some drone footage, and maybe me talking about stuff a little bit, or probably not. I'll just set it to music and take video of his equipment stuff. So I'm probably going to do that in the next week or two, hopefully. I'll throw it up on my channel, but I'm going to give it to him for his uses and stuff too. So that won't count in my numbered videos. We'll just put it up there for bonus content. So, all right, guys, any last questions? Get them in real quick because I got to get out of here.
Somebody killed his wife's hanging flowers with some mixture of fertilizer.
Yeah, that's too strong. 6 ounces to 28 to a gallon is too strong. Yep, been there.
Shave their head at 100,000. Your head's
My
pretty
wife's?
much shaved. No,
Oh.
absolutely not. I don't think so. How you make money? Briefly tell us. Subscribers, likes, comments.
Nope, it's all views. It's whether or not you guys watch the ads, and quite honestly, don't watch the ads for me. I don't make any money based on subscribers. I don't make any money when you like a video. I don't make anything on that. It's just whether you guys are watching them. And if you click to skip the ad, I think it doesn't count, but I don't care. Skip the ads. I try really hard.
It counts. Maybe you don't get as much money, but won't it count your views?
It counts as views, but it
Some
doesn't.
of your top videos are the ones Rylan watches all the time.
Yeah.
The same ones.
Anyway, yeah, doesn't cost you guys anything to subscribe or to like videos, and it doesn't pay me anything. The reason I ask for it all the time is just so you guys watch it and see the content, because I do make a little bit off the ad revenue. I try and cut it back way, way back from what YouTube wants me to have. You know, every video that I post, they automatically place all the ads in it. I don't do that. That's not mine. I can do it, but I just let them do it automatically. And then I go through and delete every other one. Like they would put an ad in every 2 minutes, I think. So I try and keep it to once every 5 minutes or less. And I hope it's not overbearing. So
I don't know that there's much else.
Okay. All right, guys. I will rewatch some of this and read through a few more comments and stuff. We'll do another live stream sometime. I don't know when, but I got to go start up that irrigation stuff here tonight. And I took some drone video today that I forgot the SD card, so I'm going to swing into the farm and grab that and hopefully get it into tomorrow's video yet. But it's after 10, and I got to finish editing it, and I got a lot to do. So anyway, thanks for checking me out tonight here and joining us. Pretty awesome to be at 10,000 subscribers, 200 videos, and that does not even include these live streams. So we've made a lot of videos, and we're going to keep making a lot more. So October 13th was the day that I posted the first video. So I'll be real curious to see how many I get to in a year. The other thing that's kind of starting to become painfully obvious to me is how many days I work in a year. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah, I know how many.
My wife
I don't
understands,
count, but...
but like I make a video basically every day that I work. Occasionally I'll combine 2 days. That's happened a couple of times. I don't know that I've actually skipped a full day yet, but that means I've already put in 200 days worth of work since October 13th. And we got 3 months, August, September, October. Yeah, to get back to there. So I'm going to have like a lot of days of work in, but that's okay. I guess it's not that far out of the ordinary.
Everybody's great. We like all your comments.
Thanks for helping read questions, honey.
No problem.
All right, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Check it out, 8 o'clock.